Hello again, guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Comic Kid here again, and today we have another big Sideshow figure for you guys. Now, the last time I talked about something at the 12-inch scale, I believe it was the Sideshow Flash from the comics that I had at the time, and now we have the Superman counterpart to it. Now, Sideshow's been killing it with this new series. I absolutely love this. This is technically a re-release of this figure. There was one from a few years ago that actually looked like very dark and whatnot, but they definitely did a complete overhaul of the whole figure, and I am super excited to see what we have inside the box here today. Now, this was an early Christmas present from my beautiful fiance, and so I can't thank her enough for something as big and massive as this guy, but we'll go ahead and get started. As far as the box goes, it's very similar to the Flash one. You have that same kind of break down in there. You have the actual symbol itself sitting right in the middle, and then you have this great comic art on the side, photo of the figure on the back with all the legal stuff down there at the bottom, and then a photo of the Metropolis skyline there. So that's that. We'll go ahead and take this front sleeve off. And there he is. And I love the packaging here. I love seeing all that blue, and just like, he looks so incredible in the box. You do also get some of the more immediate accessories up front there. I love this little kind of belt decal, even if it's not the traditional Superman belt style. And then, like the Flash one, the art that was on the sides is now in full color. You get a little bit of the extended image for the figure around there. And then you have that little top bit as well to really kind of hit everything home. But that's everything as far as the packaging goes. We're gonna go ahead and get him out of the box here for you guys and go from there. Alrighty guys, now here he is out of the box and everything, and I am just truly amazed by just the level of detail on this thing. Everything about it screams the comics. It's just a wonderful design. I love the blues, I love the reds, everything about him is just great. As far as the face sculpt goes, I do think they did a pretty good job of making him a pretty generic looking Superman. If anything, he is a little bit skinnier than people could argue that he should be. I personally don't have a problem with it. I don't really ever picture Superman myself as someone ever like just super ripped, but if anything, he is a little lanky. That said, the face sculpt does a great job of, at least in my opinion, of looking like he just stepped right off the comic book page. He doesn't look like any particular actor or anything. I do feel as though he looks like a good mix of like Christopher Reeve, Brandon Routh, and Henry Cavill kind of thrown in there. The little curl in his hair is actually sculpted and like separates from the rest of his head, so if you do get this figure, be careful, you can snap that off. It is not just molded down, but everything about him is just absolutely stellar. The boots there are great. There's a great S on the back of his cape there, and you can kind of pose this down and around his shoulders if you want, but Superman doesn't really wear his cape like Batman too often. But it's still nice that the option is there in case we need it. And then even the belt down here just fits wonderfully. These loops in the trunks are loose, and so it does kind of look like the belt can move if you need it to, but I think it's mostly just so if you want to pose the legs, you can. It gives you that extra little bit of leeway there. Now, as far as the accessories go, we'll start this way. The Kryptonite box. Now, this chunk of kryptonite is not removable. I tried, I keep trying, but it is really nice that it actually kind of collapses and opens up like that. Honestly, I may pose my Batman with that little piece there, we'll see. But then you have the hands, and for a character like Superman, you don't really need to get too complicated with the hands. I feel like everything he does come with is super appropriate. These flying hands are just very, very well done. And so I'm super impressed with those. And then these are nice just in case you want to pose him with like a piece of something, just to kind of make it look like he's got a grip on it and might be like bending something, crushing something, whatever it may be. And then I do think it is absolutely hysterical that they came with a Jarro or Starro piece. Sorry, Jarro's more of a recent character, but he just kind of attaches right there. Looks great, works perfectly, not much else that you really need. And for an accessory like that, I did think it was a bit of a stranger choice, but I'm not at all complaining. The eye and everything there on him is actually really well done as well. And then lastly, as far as the accessories go, we do have the Bottle City of Candor. And this is actually really interesting. You got like a pipe for some oxygen, and the whole thing just looks very, very well sculpted. And I'm not quite sure what that little spirally piece is in there. I guess it could be one of the Kandorians just kind of flying around, but I do think it looks great. Only thing I think they could have added here is an extra head that looks a bit more angry. The expression I think he has here is very fitting for like a resting Superman type face. You know, it's not quite a full-blown smile, but you know, an alternate head with like some slightly smoky eyes, kind of like the original one had, definitely could have been incorporated into this figure as well. Now, as y'all can see, he is a little rigid, and actually when I first got him out of the box, I was really worried I was going to break these joints here, and that's because they tend to lock. And I don't actually think they go beyond that 90 degrees there, which is a little weird in all honesty, at least for the Sideshow figures. But articulation, aside from that, is pretty standard. You got just some very surprisingly stiff joints, and maybe he actually is a bit more limited than some of the other figures, but his arm can go up, his head, up like that. And then you do have some ball joints in the wrists again. Pretty decent ab crunch, and then the more you bend the legs, the better that can at least seem to appear. The legs do come up pretty far. Again, that kind of stretchy spandex, kind of like the Flash one, does kind of bring it back down, but for the most part, it's everything you need it to be. And then the knees don't lock in the same manner as the elbows do, but there is that. And then you do have some ball ankles on the feet as well. But overall, yeah, it is a pretty standard piece for Sideshow, but I am still pretty impressed with him. I definitely think he's an overall improvement from the Superman figure they released beforehand, but that's, you know, still kind of a low bar. But overall, I am just super, super impressed with this Superman. And really the only complaint that I have about him is that lack of an additional head, and the arms could at least seem to use some articulation. I might have to check in on some of those, but that's everything we have for you guys today. Overall, I'd probably give this figure like a nice B+. For the price, I think they could have worked out a few more kinks, but I'm still super happy to have him. But again, that's everything for today, you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and I will see you all again real soon.